The radical environmentalist, globalist, socialist plan for global domination is becoming increasingly clear. We talk about it at length in our book, Screwed, and I really urge you to get a copy of it to get up on it. But what's happening really crested last week at the Rio conference. This was called Rio Plus 20. The Rio conference of 1992, 20 years ago, set up a whole notion for sustainable development throughout the world. Now, let's be really clear about what's happening here. The socialists and globalists and the radical environmentalists have formed kind of a coalition where they're basically saying that they want world governance, they want central planning, they want an end to free market decision-making, and they want all of this in the name of protecting the global environment. Hayek, in his book, Road to Serfdom, warns that the way socialism and tyranny and Nazism, he wrote it in the late 40s, advances, is that it cites one central goal. In Germany's case, rearmament. In Russia's case, national development. And in the name of that, it orders everybody to follow a certain plan. And now the central goal is environmentalists, to fight global warming and prevent ocean acidification. And in those names, everything gets planned, everything gets organized. And the free market and individual freedom have no role. Now, at the Rio conference, they took a giant step in that direction by setting up a global fund, ultimately to reach $100 billion. The United States contributed $2 billion right away to the first year. Hillary did that without any congressional action. It'll, I guess, be included in the budget. And that fund is taken directly from the developed world, us, and given to the third world countries to help them adjust to climate change. But by that, they don't mean windmills and stuff. What they mean is that they are going to compensate them for the loss of land or income or national wealth that happens because of protecting the environment. So, for example, if Brazil doesn't cut down the rainforest, we'll pay Brazil not to do that and pay them what the cropland and ranch land might have yielded them. It's basically welfare. It's an income support. But it's all part of this effort to create a global transfer of wealth. And they're creating a global EPA, a global environmental agency, to set global regulations. Now, at the moment, they're not binding. At the moment, they're just advisory, but it's the step-by-step progression of this kind of global governance. And the goal eventually is that as the United States becomes more conservative, and as the Republicans defeat Obama and take the Senate, they will move the locus of decision-making from the United States Congress to the United Nations General Assembly. And in this case, a new environmental agency that's being created. Now, this $100 billion fund is being run by the same guys that did the Food for Peace program. You know, that's the deal where allegedly we took oil that Iraq was producing under Saddam Hussein, and because the kids were starving and there was no medicine, the UN sold the oil and used the money to help the poor people of Iraq, except it never got there. Most of it went directly into Saddam Hussein's pocket and bank account, some of it into his armament program, and a large portion of it went into bribes and payoffs to UN officials. It was the most corruption-ridden program in the history of the world. Billions and billions stolen. And nobody is in jail as a result of that, because they were largely immune to prosecution because they had diplomatic immunity. And the United Nations has no mechanism for prosecuting people within its operation that are corrupt. Now they're going to set up this $100 billion environmental fund, which will have the same ripoffs. So this is very, very serious. And I really urge you to pick up a copy. You can get it from our website or from Amazon, of Screwed, because it really explains exactly what's going on here. And we need to learn it so that we can fight it. Thanks a lot for watching.